Good morning, Stratters. One of the questions that I've been getting asked is how I set up my Thinkorswim charts. I figured I'd make a video right quick to walk you through the process. To start with, in Thinkorswim, you have a ribbon up here that says charts, and then below that, you have two other ones. So in this, you have charts and then flexible grid. As the name implies, flexible grid's a little bit more flexible. You're not sitting here having to specifically deal with a grid format itself. So to get started, if you want to be able to put multiple charts on your page, you just go here, click on the icon in the upper right hand corner, and you can extend this as much as you want. I have six. That's where I am comfortable with my time frames. So once you've done that, just save your grid and give it a name. And at that point, you can always go back to this pretty quickly. You can have multiple grid setups, by the way. So that's one of the benefits here. So if I wanted to add, 12, in this case, I could do that and then click on save grid and it would do that for me. Back to how I had it. All right. Next, we have all of these charts are linked. So the thought here is that you click on this little icon. That will be your default one when you start Thinkorswim if you don't have anything linked. And then you can link them. So everybody has the same icon, case 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Then if I were to change anything about a ticker that I'm looking at, they all change. So that gives me the ability to quickly see, a ticker on a different time frame relatively fast. So start off with the time frames next. So we have daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, and 5 minute. Those are the time frames that I prefer. You can do any time frame you want. It's up to you. But the point of the strat is time frame continuity, so I can see what sort of setups are happening as they set up. So I'll start with charting things out on the daily, and then I'll wait for a daily trigger to happen, maybe even a 4 hour trigger to happen. And then I'll start looking at things on a smaller level for an entry point, hour, the 30 minute, 15. So then I'll get an entry point on something actionable. And then I'll start looking at things on the 5 minute level. And I'll really make my play at that point, get in, stay in, tighten my stop loss, whatever, um, based on what I'm seeing on the 5 minute and the 50. Next is the studies. So the studies that I use, ATR, just to be able to see what the true range of the play is going to be or could be. We have Strat Remix Superlight. This one, I've customized it a little bit with the settings just to be able to be a little more accurate for me. And then we have Anchored VWAP and a plugin that I'm working on. I'm just calling it the Strat 50% rule, but it is the 50% rule from Sarah, one of the predominant stratters out there. So try to turn it to a plugin so that I could visually see where this 50% line is instead of making Fibonacci lines everywhere. And it seems to be working pretty well. So hopefully I'll be releasing it to everybody in the future. So those are the plugins up there. And then we come down in this neck of the woods. I have some additional plugins. So the other one is going to be the EMA Cloud and then Timeframe Continuity. I only have Timeframe Continuity on this low one here, the 5 minute, because you do need to have the actual smallest time frame that you're monitoring for timeframe continuity. So what you'll see here right now, I have 5, 15, 30, 62, 4 day and week. But if I change this particular window to an hour, all of a sudden I don't have those small time frames anymore. So I just have the smallest time frame that I'm monitoring. That way, smallest up is pretty much how this goes with their plugin. So the way I would recommend setting this up, get one chart done first. Set up your grid, save your grid, and get one chart done. And then once you've set up your studies, you've set up your candlesticks, you've added your plugins, whatever, you can go to style and then save it. So you save your style, give it a name, and then click this little checkbox here that says include patterns in study set. And that's going to save everything that you've done here. And then you can go over here to your next chart, not that one. You go over here to next chart, click on style, and then load your style, and then go select it from here. So that way you don't have to sit here and repeat the wheel. In this case, I would have to do it 5 more times. No, thank you. So I'll save my study and style set over here, and then I will just simply load it in the next windows. And after that, you just change your time because it does actually save this with the particular time frame that you have loaded here. All right, so that is the charts. The flexible grid, very similar, pretty much all the same functionality, except for the fact that, as the name implies, these are flexible. So if I click on the little icon up here, I can go to customize grid, and this pop-up shows up to where I can add additional charts to the right or below, or I can get rid of charts. So this gives me the ability to say, maybe I want the top pane here, the top pane across the whole way to be one chart, one big rectangle. So I can see the timeline very easily. But then maybe I want multiple ones in the bottom. Again, it's really however you want to set this up. And then once you're done, you can save your flexible grid however you want to, give it a name. Same thing we talked about earlier. You give it a name, and then from there, you can just click save and then always load it very quickly. Once you're done customizing, just uncheck that box. And these are unlinked. I don't again have these linked because this is more of my intraday watch list. So I'll sit here and stare at things on the daily levels in most cases. Wait for a daily trigger to execute, and then I will, a smaller time frame, look for an entry, and then play something at that point on the 5 minute, and sit there and watch on the 5 minute and see how it plays out. So the only other thing that I can think of talking about is going to be back here on charts. Again, links are nice. You can link multiple things. So if you have a watch list that you have down here with some tickers, you can link the watch list so that when you click on the actual name and everything shows up here, so that it just makes it very quickly. Same thing on the trade window. So here where you put in your ticker, you can link that as well. So now whatever I'm sitting here staring at in charts automatically loads in the trade window, what I'm looking at here in options. Same applies if I were to type in buy here. If I go back to charts, buy has loaded in my charts. So linking is a really powerful thing. Okay, so for more tips and things like this in the future, make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, happy trading.